Okay, good evening. Good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar today. Our webinar today is called Beyond Awareness, the Reality of Autism Acceptance in Everyday Life. So I am Charlotte Dick. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Circle of Support, and I'm truly honored to host tonight's discussion with people who I call my sisters. Thank you to everyone that's joining us. If you're joining us from the UK, Nigeria, the USA, and beyond. So please feel free to drop in the chat as we go along. This is supposed to be a very interactive session. It's all about us having a space to be honest, to be open, and just to go beyond that just social media and seeing us posting videos that are just a few minutes long. It's about really understanding us as autism moms, parents. So tonight is going to be about honesty. It's going to be about moving beyond those hashtags and those campaigns of autism awareness. It's going to be us talking about autism acceptance, what it really looks like in our homes, in schools, in our communities, and just in everyday life. So we're going to spend the first hour in conversation with our wonderful panel, who I'm going to introduce in a minute. And then we'll also have some time for questions and answers at the final part of today's webinar. So most importantly, I want you to know that this is being recorded. So if there's anything that you don't want shared, please do let us know so we can edit it out of the recording, because it will go up onto YouTube after. And all I would ask is for people to just be respectful of one another tonight. We are talking about things that can be quite emotional, and it's quite an emotive subject, especially when you're living it. So if somebody is speaking, if we can just mute ourselves so we don't really get interrupted. Um, and yeah, just be here to support one another. So I'm going to introduce our amazing panel for tonight. So first of all, we have Jordea Sadiq, and she is our nurse. She's a dedicated mother of four beautiful, beautiful children. She's also the founder of Life of an Autistic Mum Foundation. Jordea is committed to advancing autism awareness, fostering kindness, and building supportive communities for families affected by autism. She values her time with her children and leverages her platform to educate, inspire, and empower individuals globally. I'm sure you've seen her on social media. I love her because she's just so honest. She is so open, and she just leaves herself being vulnerable, sharing her experiences. But it's real. It's not anything that's being kind of sugar-coated. And I love that about her. Our next panelist is Dolly Cook, and my amazing sister too. She's a certified public accountant and finance leader in the county government, so you know she's super brainy. But more importantly, she is a devoted mother, and she's passionate about autism. She's an autism advocate. She's also known as the Autism Mum. Dolly's advocacy is rooted in a lived experience as the mother of an 11-year-old Javen, and he is my son's twin. So if you see them together, just say they're twins from two different mothers across the globe. She navigates autism alongside co-occurring challenges like ADHD and anxiety. Through her journey, she has become a powerful voice for inclusion, awareness, and a real support for families. She shares her stories to uplift others. She celebrates the small wins that mean everything, and challenges as well, to see beyond those labels and truly embrace understanding. Dolly reminds us that autism doesn't need fixing, our world does. And that's so true. So please join me in welcoming my beautiful sisters. And thank you so much for taking the time out to be with me and here today.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's get started. So if one of you, who wants to go first in introducing themselves? I know I've done a quick bio of you, but who wants to, Judea or Dolly? It's up to you who wants to take the lead in going first. I'm going to leave it up to you. You're on mute, Dolly. I can see your mouth, lips moving, but nothing's coming up.
I said I like to follow big shoes, so I'll let you go first.
No, go first, please. You already did.
We
Go
already
first.
argued about who's going to go first.
You go first, Dolly.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Dolly Cook. I go by the Autism Mom on Facebook. Um, I have an 11-year-old who was diagnosed age 7, but we've been in therapy since 15 months old. I'm so happy to be here and share this experience and talk beyond awareness with my sisters and everyone else on here today.
Thank you, Dolly.
Thank you.
Welcome. Can we give
Thank
her a
you.
round of applause? Can you use your emojis? Thank you. Amazing.
Hello, everyone. My name is Julde Siddiqui. I'm a mom of four. They already introduced me. And I have an adorable 11-year-old, and he means the world to me. So um, he was diagnosed at age 3 and been in the battle ever since. So,
Mm,
but he means everything. He's so sweet. He's so adorable. And I enjoy talking about autism. I feel so confident dealing with autistic individuals now and also talking about it. Um, I'm here. My sister invited me to this panel, and I was so happy to be part of it. So let's keep spreading the awareness and keep bringing more people to understand our kids and know that they're here to stay and here to be seen. Thank you.
amen. Thank you. Round of applause for my sister, Jose. Are
Thank
those
you.
emojis working? Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to have you here tonight. Well, this afternoon, well, if you're in your time zone.
It's afternoon too, so you're good.
So when you hear, so my first question to you is, so we've talked a lot about autism awareness, and I think on Saturday we were talking when we had our webinar, I was talking about how long autism awareness has been going. So this has been going since 2008, first started by the United Nations, to really spread awareness of, autism, what it is, and really trying to create a space where it is, spaces are inclusive. I know we have a long way to go. But when you hear the word or hear the phrase beyond awareness now, what does it mean to you personally? And I'll go to Julia first.
For me, I think beyond awareness is we've done a lot of awareness anyway. We've
Mm,
spread a lot. Like you said, there are lots and lots of parents spreading awareness. There are a lot of pages, a lot of NGOs. Everybody's talking about awareness now. And I think what we need now is inclusion.
mm,
Inclusion, not just include our kids, but actually creating space for them. Because if you say inclusion and you bring up my child is in a certain environment or with other kids, and then there are no like resources to actually cater to his needs because he's absolutely is different. There are things that irritates him, that things sound, smell that he's not gonna allow, and then the
mm,
environment is already there, but there are not resources or things in place to actually cater to his needs. That's not inclusion.
mhm,
So when you talk about inclusion, you have to actually create the space for that particular child to thrive and also actually bring in more resources to support that child. You don't have to like separate the child like, okay, you cannot be in this space because
mm,
of these whatever you're dealing with. I'll find another, we'll fix you in another space or put you in another space. Create that inclusion. Let him be there with the other kids, but make sure he's catered to. So I think we said a lot about awareness. Let's focus on the inclusion. So I'm happy to be in this kind of discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Julia. Dolly, do you want to follow up on that? What do you think about when you hear the word or phrase beyond
Um,
awareness? What does it mean to you?
yeah. When we talk about beyond awareness, we're talking about we're here. Everyone knows what autism is at this point, now that we've
Mm,
had local and national discussion about autism. Um, More people know about autism than we did last year or the year before.
mhm,
That's a good thing that people know exactly well, I don't know whether they know exactly what autism looks like, but they know what is autism.
Mm,
We've had more people trying to find more information about autism and knowing what autism is. What
Mm-hmm.
we don't have is, as Judah said, is inclusion. Um, we don't have resources to help the kids that are on the spectrum. I'll give an example with schools, churches,
mm,
libraries.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, like the other day on our trip from Chicago, and we had to deal with TSA who didn't even know what um, the layered for autism looks like and how they should treat
mm,
someone who is wearing it.
Wow.
People know what it is, know the autism, what it is, but how do you help that person when you see them? How do you
mm,
navigate their environment and not try to bring them into your environment? You can be in their
Mm-hmm.
environment for a moment. So that's what I see when I hear beyond awareness is we have talked about autism, kids are different. This is what they don't like. We know all those things. How do we help them to be a part of the society without putting them
mm,
in different groups? How can we help them learn? How can we help them be with other kids at school without having to be in different social groups?
mm,
How do we help them when they're having a hard time in the classroom and not having to take them from one class to the other because they don't get along with a set of other kids that are different?
yeah.
So it's all those things that makes them feel acceptable for who they
Mhm,
are and thrive in their own environment, not to be forced always to be us, to be in our neurotypical environment.
mm. Yeah, I mean, both of you touched on it, and I think probably, coming from a UK perspective, I would agree with everything you've said there. I think we do have lots of awareness. We have this every year. It's not something new. Like I said, it's been going for the last what, um,
Yeah.
nearly, 20 years. And we're still talking about places not being inclusive. And I think people who are like we'll have people from Nigeria joining tonight. And when I say to them about kind of what services are like in the UK, and there's so many children out of school because they've got special needs, they're
Mm-hmm.
really like amazed that that can be happening in a country that is, a first world country. But spaces are not inclusive. And definitely, I think the emphasis has been put on acceptance now, but I still think and both of you touched on, there's still a gap. There still isn't that awareness. So when you
Big
talked
one
about
in
that
this.
flight, you're going on a flight. People don't know what the lanyards for. That's like universal. And especially big companies or
Exactly.
organizations, at a minimum, this should be something that's on their training as part of you come in and you do your diversity inclusion training as soon as you start. Somebody who is neurodivergent shouldn't be that difficult to start thinking about. Um, yeah, so when you just touch on that point, so we know what beyond awareness is. So what is something that you think people misunderstand about autism? Is there, Dolly, do you want to take that one first?
I would say it's on two different levels, unfortunately, because we have children that have profound autism.
Mm,
And what most people don't know is the amount of care that those children needs, the amount of resources, the amount of financing, and their parents cannot put it all on their shoulders. They have other kids. They have uh, children who are neurotypical that needs the same parents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they don't get those resources. They're not there. Most of them don't end up going to a school because their needs are not getting met at school. Um, and some of them are in and out of the hospital have more than autism, unfortunately.
mm,
And people don't see all that. So their needs are barely understood and how much those parents have to put.
mm,
On the other side, to the parents who have children like my son, who
mm,
is that quote is he high performing. He's verbal since he was 4 years old, but he struggles.
Mm.
But what most people overlook is beyond him saying a few words and the struggles that he goes by every day, the meltdowns, the behaviors. We have been to 4 different schools, and he is in 5th grade. And none of those schools have really been understanding of how can we help him to be in school and not be like, oh no, we can't help him. We don't know how to handle him. We don't know how to do this. We don't know how that. So people see a child, they're verbal, they're ignored, their needs don't matter, they don't show a look of autism, which I don't know what that looks it's supposed to look like. Because I still struggle
I'm still
today to
struggling.
find it.
Yeah.
So that's what I see as the barrier to all the parents inclusive. There are some that really they're not understood, they're not seen. Their needs are not met at all. And there are other parents on the other downside, and it's a spectrum. I'm not saying there's a high, there's a low, there's an in between. It's a spectrum. It doesn't have a label of up and down. It can be in betweens, they can be all different sort of things. But those are things that are left out because we make judgment based on that student, based on that parent. And we don't evaluate the needs of a child as an individual or as a person and make a decision based on their capability and what they're able to do and how we're able to help them. We just have this label in the mind, oh, they're high performing, so they don't need no help. They can handle it. They can go through a day at school. It's not true. And unless you live that experience with a child who can't sit in a classroom all day from 8 to 3, as much as they can shout and they're the loudest in the house, then you do not understand what autism exactly looks like. That's in my experience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I could echo a lot of what you said there. Just that misconception, isn't it? I think you, Jordea, you posted something similar to this, and I think I answered it on your page this week around one of the things that you think people misunderstand about autism. I think, and I put there that especially when I've said to people, oh, colleagues, oh, my children are autistic. And they say, oh, wow. So what are they good at? What can they do? What's their special gift? And I'm like, and I start to think, well, hold on a minute. They don't have a gift. So does that make them not autistic? Or, there's this misconception. I think the media also has a lot to play with that. I think it's got better as kind of we've progressed with films that really portray, but people always, and like you said, Dolly, so Javian's quite as they would say, high functioning, which is people will see Gabriel and he speaks but don't know what the struggles are behind the scenes. So yeah, sorry, go ahead, Jordea. What do you think
Yeah,
people misunderstand?
like Dolly just said, in fact, this question is very important. Like you said, I asked something similar to this on my page. And this has been something that has been affecting even the autism community itself, right? Like parents. Most of us that have pages, like throw awareness out there, we still fight in between. When you post, you see a lot of parents come in and be fighting in between because one parent is thinking, oh, for me, they think my own autism, my kid autism should not be this, or you think you're praising autism, or you think you're talking down on autism, or so the differences, the fight, and is among even the autism community, even ourselves. So this is very good because at the end of the day, like Dolly said, autism does not have a look. And I always say every journey is different. Every journey is different. Every child is different. Our kids are not the same, but there is no way you can talk down on somebody's autism, like saying, okay, now if I put Dolly's son and my son, they're two different people, right? Dolly, like Dolly just said, his son is in the high, almost in the high functioning, but he has his own struggles, a lot that he's going through. And you cannot see a child like that and you say, oh, He's fine. Look at him talking. He's doing things. He's okay. You don't know the meltdown. You don't know what that parent is dealing with. You don't know
Mm.
that child's struggle. And then you see another child. My child is in the level 2. Okay. You see
Mm.
him is nonverbal, still is not talking. And then you already like one thing about nonverbal people, as soon as they see, they think they're stupid. Excuse me for
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Because they're nonverbal, they don't understand. That's what
Mm.
they think.
And that's the misconception, isn't
Immediately,
it?
that's the
Mm.
biggest misconception. When they see a
Mm.
nonverbal child, they said, "Oh, he don't understand. He don't know what's going on." So they think that you can just say things around him. You can act anyhow around him. He's not understanding. He's just like, because I am nonverbal. So the misconception is a lot. And then
Mm.
again, like Dolly said, you have the severe autism. These particular communities, like these kids are living, they don't even know what's going on in their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
The severe ones, they don't know nothing. Some of them don't
Mm.
know the environment they live. They don't even understand. They don't even know who their parents are.
Mm.
So it's so hard. So the
Mm.
community is, we are dealing with one spectrum, but different sets of people, different journey, different circumstances. We are all not the same. All we need to do is just to work together, push awareness and inclusion, and do not left
Mm.
nobody out. That's my only
Mm.
take.
Absolutely. I mean, I do, definitely agree. Um, and I have the experience of having two children who have autism, and I can tell you they are 100% totally different from each other. And our journey
Mhm.
has been and journey is different. Um, and yeah, I think that's also a misconception is, oh, if you've got two children with autism or more than one child with autism, you're going to know you've done the journey already, so you know exactly what to
Mm-hmm.
do. And in actual
Mhm.
fact, I am having to relearn with Gabriel a lot of different things that I didn't experience with Nehemiah.
Okay.
So yeah, every child, and I would say every child's different. If they're neurotypical, you have two children, even if they're the same sex, they're going to be totally different personalities as well. So that's just the same. Our children are not aliens or something. They are
Oh.
human beings, and they will, experience life differently as we all would. So thank
Mhm.
you, ladies, for sharing. I think it's good to hear, what awareness is about and that we're not alone. And I think that was something that was shared through both of you. We've got your platforms. I know I'm not as active on mine, just because of time, but I know that people get a lot from interacting with you and hearing you and seeing you. And also you're being real. And I think that's really important.
Mhm.
So going on to our next question. So what does a normal look like for your family? Jodette, do you want to go first? What does a normal day look or typical day look like for you?
For me, a normal day is just like the one I'm having right now. Everybody is not here. I'm by myself. And when they are around with the kids, the normal day is a chaos. My house
Mm.
is loud. So especially on weekends, my house is very loud because Mohammed will be there steaming in the good way though. Because
Mm.
one thing about him is happy, he steams. He's upset, he has different steams for different things. So
Mm.
he will be there steaming. Those ones will be there with their games, screaming with Roblox or whatever they're doing. I'll be there. So my normal day is, this is for me, this is the perfect normal day when everybody's at school. I'm just home by myself. Yes, I can just reset, rewind, and have my mental health check. But when everybody is around, it's a chaos. So, but I'm
Mm.
enjoying it. And I'm
Mm.
used to it now.
Well done. Okay, Dolly. So what about you? What does a normal day look like for you and Jamie? Oh, sorry. Anyone that's joining, can you just make sure you mute yourself? Dolly Sola, can you just mute? I think it's okay. Thank you. Go ahead, Dolly. Sorry.
Okay, so like we said, we talked about how different our kids are
Mm.
and how different even neurotypical people are.
Mm.
Mhm.
For us, every day is different.
Mm.
Every moment is completely different. You might get up with a child that is laughing, verbally dancing, and the
Mhm.
moment you say it is time to brush teeth, that
Mm-hmm.
comes right ups and down, and
Mm.
you have a meltdown
Mm-hmm.
within a split of a second.
Brushing the teeth is always what does it, isn't it?
Always a
Always.
fight. I don't know why.
So I don't know if we have a normal day because those are the things we have to go through every single day. We either have to start with brushing teeth, getting dressed, and then evening we deal with brushing teeth and taking a shower. And those are the big no-nos of my kid. Him and water don't mix. And
You
I
see?
know that's another misconception that
That they
all
all love the
That's what
autism
water.
I just want
kids
to say.
Yeah.
are
Because
drawn to
most
water.
kids love water,
Unfortunately not.
especially autism kids. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So you see
My
right there?
son, not Javen.
You
Javen
see?
cannot get wet. He cannot get sweaty. He will
Wow.
have a big meltdown. You have to change his
Wow.
clothes. Sometimes if it's so hot in the house, he will change his pajamas 3, 4 times a night.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Little sweaty, it's
He doesn't like it.
uncomfortable.
It's a
Wow.
sensory,
Every
isn't
child
it?
is different. For real. Every child is
Mm.
different. Maybe it
Yep.
has to do with sensory. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
sensory.
Mm-hmm.
it has
Yeah,
to do
it
with sensory.
is. He has a lot of sensory issues and
Mm.
teeth and the bathroom, some other sensory issues that he has.
Mm.
Um, but
Wow.
even when he's not having a sensory issue, he's coming from school, he's held it together all day because he doesn't
Mm.
want to be in trouble. What he calls, I'm
Mm-hmm.
always in trouble. He's
Mm-hmm.
holding himself together. So when he gets home,
He
this is a
releases it.
safe place for him. He
Yeah.
Mm.
lets
That
it
is what that
loose.
is most of how most of them behave.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They were stupid
Yeah.
and they
So,
explode in the house. Like,
They save it for the
every
parents.
evening, the first 15 minutes to 20 to an hour, it's
Mm.
adjusting to being here, to being home, to a different routine. And
Mm.
you
mhm.
can't change that. You can't be here and tell Javen, oh, we came in late, so when I make dinner, go take a shower. No,
Mhm.
it don't work
Mm.
like that. But I always eat first before shower.
Yeah.
You can't
Mhm.
change
People
things
say.
around for him.
No,
Yeah.
you cannot.
You
Not
have
Same
to
that.
goes the
stick
same.
to that
Yeah.
routine. So those are some of the things that people don't expect. Like, why can't he do that before he does? No, he can't.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it's not like he is trying to be naughty or he's trying to
That's
avoid
just
doing
how
it.
it is.
Yeah.
That
They're
is
very, can
how
be
his
very
brain
rigid, isn't it?
functions. You just don't throw rockets in between his schedule because
Mm.
he won't do it. And
Mm.
then
Nope.
you have to set yourself to failure. What I always say, choose your battles. Not
Yeah.
everything is
Thank
worth
you.
me contesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how I react, how I function on a day, it all depends on the child I get from school. That's
That
my
day.
unfortunate joke. It's like, I don't know what Javen I'm getting today. If I get a happy Javen,
It's the same with
I'm
Gabriel,
happy.
actually.
It's
If
the
I
same
get
thing
a
with all of them.
overwhelmed child,
Mm.
Yeah.
if I get one that want to cry to go to Target and get a toy for
Mhm.
no absolute reason,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. He's so
that's
much like his
what my
brother
day
in
would
the
look
UK.
like. Huh?
I said he's so much like his brother in the UK.
Yeah, I think we've established that.
Yes, I mean, we talked a little bit about, challenges. And I think you touched on that every day can be different. And, there's some of those challenges that people just take for granted, like brushing their teeth, or, sometimes you have a change in routine, but not intentionally.
Mhm.
And that will
No.
just throw your child off for the whole day.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, so what would you say are some of the challenges that you think people don't often see? So we know you are on social media, you let us into your lives. Um, but what are the things, and I know you can both be very open, but there are things that people won't see. And what are those things that you think that people don't often see about you and your journey? So, Dolly.
I would say that disciplining a child on the spectrum is
Mm,
quite hard
mm,
because oftentimes, as a parent, especially, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be racial here,
mm,
especially parents who have brown children, like they
mm.
like to say,
Yeah.
um, there's a stereotype of Black kids' behavior.
Mm,
And sometimes kids with autism have behaviors.
Yeah,
They're just like any other child.
exactly.
That was a lot.
100%.
So being a parent who understands their child, who want to be very understanding and very supportive, and
Mm,
at the same time jungling with the correct behaviors, which they don't take very kindly.
mm,
Everything to them is heightened.
yeah.
It's very challenging. And those
Mm,
are some of the things that we don't talk about a lot of how that can be hard when you're trying to figure out what discipline is what this.
yeah.
Like, for example, I was talking to a friend yesterday about this week, we're doing a standardized test at school. Jevin cannot take a toy, which he always takes. He has to take a
Mm,
stuffed animal.
Oh, wow.
But yeah,
mm. It's
but
gonna cause a hope, yeah.
to him, he feels
Mhm.
like since y'all decided this, I'm deciding
Mhm.
to sneak a toy in my backpack.
Uh-huh.
Not one,
No
not
one will see
two,
it. Mhm.
not three.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my goodness. So he's gone overboard
Okay.
now.
So
Yes.
now he's gonna take more than
Yeah,
no more than you usually
that's
take.
defiance, isn't it?
Oh my
And
God.
he is very sweet about it. And he'll tell
Mhm.
you, Mommy, can I eat lunch at school today? Because he doesn't want you to pack his lunch to see the toys in the backpack. Very smart.
Not smart there. Very smart.
So
Telling you.
autism is not synonymous with stupidity. I'm sorry to use the words,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
not synonymous.
Wow.
Um, so yesterday I'm trying to teach Javin on how to be honest. I asked him, "Do you have toys in your backpack?" And he said, "No."
Mm-hmm.
And I knew he did. And I
Mm,
asked him, "Can I check?" He
mm.
said, "No, mommy." Of course I ended up to check. Having those conversations about honesty
Mm,
and how we navigate to someone that you feel like most of the time you're just talking and
yeah.
talking
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
talking, and
Mm-hmm.
you're like, is he ever listening? Can he
Yeah.
ever hear me? Is he
Yeah.
not hearing me? I struggle with that a lot.
Mm, mm,
It
yeah.
feels like I'm redoing myself over and over and over, and
Mm,
I'm not achieving a goal of where I want to be at. Like I would
Mhm.
like a
yeah.
kid to tell me, "Oh, mommy, yeah, I put 5 toys in my backpack."
Mm,
No, he
it's
won't do that.
difficult.
It is a difficult place to be in, and people don't see those struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now speak to our my sisters and my brothers back in Africa who still insist like, oh, you can't have gentle parenting.
Mm,
Kids need to be disciplined the same way we were disciplined when we were growing up. That just doesn't
Oromo,
work
Ofi Oromo.
on typical kids, on
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni,
autistic kids. That kind of discipline don't
ẹ
work.
wẹ́dà tutù kẹ̀.
So
can we
when you're
just mute,
making
please? Shahid, can you mute yourself, please?
Wẹ́dà
Mute,
Thank you.
please.
Sorry, go ahead, Dolly. Sorry about
So
that.
when you're making those hard decisions about your child and what
Mhm.
discipline to give and what to pass, because you
Mm,
honestly, with an autism child, you cannot punish every single behavior.
yeah,
You
you'd be
will
doing
be
that all
there
day.
all
I was
day,
gonna say we do that all day.
literally doing it.
Yeah.
The other things is the hardest thing is hearing your child tell you, I have a hard time making friends. I
Mm,
don't have friends. And how that hits you as a parent, seeing
mm,
them struggle, seeing them go through a moment they are not even able to tell you what that moment looks like. What is the feeling that they're having? To me, those are the things that people don't see.
yeah.
Because if I posted a video of a 2 hour meltdown that
Mm,
started with just a water, and then I'm not saying I'm hungry, but someone is hungry, someone is
mm,
overwhelmed, but he won't say I'm tired. It would be
mm.
probably 5 hours long to me to show you exactly
Yeah.
what my day looks like and how I get frustrated when it gets to an hour mark of a meltdown and I still don't have an idea
Mm.
of what to do to stop it
And I think
or
there's that
change the
expectation,
trajectory.
isn't it? That you
Yes,
will know what to do. And I
not all
think
the time.
exactly. I think everybody's human. And I think we're all learning this journey, even if we share things on, social media, or even if, we put on these kind of talks, webinars, etc. I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning every day.
Every day.
Mhm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's not, it doesn't come just like parenting doesn't come with a manual. How to parent an autistic child doesn't come with a manual at all. And they are
Nope.
all, as you said, very different. Um, so
You're right here.
go ahead, sorry, go ahead, Jode.
The word you just said, I have it right here. I read it
Okay.
every day. It don't come with a manual. Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Does
It
not
doesn't
come
come
with
with
a
a
manual
manual.
at
And I
all.
think like when you said about disciplining and things like that, I think it's so hard. Also you feel like you're being judged with everything that you do.
Mhm.
If I tell him off, or especially Mr. Gabby, if I tell him off and he has a whole, meltdown, you think, I'm saying this thing over and over. Does he understand? Am I communicating that? Does he actually, how much of it is he's just
Mhm.
being cheeky and
Mhm.
stubborn? And how much of
Mhm.
it is, do I say, it's because of his autism? Because
Mhm.
sometimes, and especially my 18-year-old, now his new thing is, well, mum, you know that I'm autistic. So I think, and I'm like,
Oh, okay. So now he's
okay.
using it
So
against
now we
you.
are using it, So you
Yeah.
get to that
Okay.
age where, okay. Um, so I'm now at that age,
Oh my God.
with the biggest one. But yeah, thank you, Dolly. I'm gonna,
Yeah, I just wanted to
yeah, go
follow
ahead.
up and say, Javen too, sometimes will use it. Like yesterday
Mm,
when we were going back and forth about the toy, and he said his own words, I committed a mortar. He said a mortar or a mortar sin.
okay.
Wow.
And yes,
Well,
and then he said, Mommy, will Jesus understand I have struggles?
Mm-hmm.
mm, see,
Mm-hmm.
very, very smart.
Very smart.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Mm, right, okay. So I'm not going to answer you this. I'm going to ask you a different question today. So, what I think is a big thing that autism families struggle with, and kind of what we're advocating for, especially from an autism circle of support this year, is about having inclusive spaces.
Mm-hmm.
So, can you share an experience where you've been in a public space, like a
Mm-hmm.
shop, restaurant, or wherever it may be, um, and you have had your child has had the massive meltdown? What can you share about that? So share an experience with us that you've had in a public space with Mohammed.
Like you just said, what we struggle with, right, is the judgments when we're
Mm,
out there.
mm,
I've not had, to be honest, I've not had a situation where, oh, I've had one, and that was
mm,
a terrible one, yes.
mm,
So being out in the public space, let me don't say yet like a big meltdown, just even
mm,
with steaming, just having a
mm,
tire that you walk with. I always go with mommy to the store. Always, as long as he's home, we go to the store. I even have time that I will stay home and wait for him to come out from school before I go to the store because I'm teaching him life skills. So I want
mm.
to make
Yeah.
sure he knows how to go to the store, get stuff. But not even a meltdown, just with steaming.
Mm,
Mommy steams all the time.
yeah. So
Even
does
when
David.
he's sitting playing alone by himself, he's
Mm,
steaming. Even watching his phone, he's steaming. So
mm-hmm,
when you walk with him in the store and the steam, oh my God, I've had, you see the stairs, you know the way they watch,
mm,
look at you, like
mm,
you are living in an odd wall. Like, what are you
mm-hmm,
doing in this space? You're not supposed
mm,
to be here.
mm-hmm,
Oh, I've witnessed that. And one thing I always say, it happens all the time. If I have those issues with those terrible stares, and they'll be
mm,
rolling their eyes, sucking their teeth, like, who is this badly behaved child making noise here? I always encounter that with the Black people, like
mm,
Africans like me.
mm,
That's the if I enter in a store and we started doing shopping, mama will be picking stuff and then you'll be steaming. You see these white folks or these, I'm not trying to be racist here, but when it comes to autism, I have to put it out there. You will see them say, oh, do you need help? Immediately they see mama steaming, they already know he needs help. I'll say, no, he's fine, he can do it. But when you encounter my color, my African people in general, They'll be looking at you. There was one day in the store, I have to ask the lady, why are you watching? Why are you staring at my
Mm.
son like that?
Mhm. I've done
Is
that.
my son the stuff you're about to get from the store? And
Hmm.
he's like, oh, no, I didn't mean that way. What's wrong with him? I said, okay, I know that's why you're staring. I
Mm.
said, but I'm sure you know something about autism, right? Oh, he's
Hmm.
autistic. I said, no, but he don't look like. I said, well, he don't have a look. So they
What
keep,
is the
so
look?
those
Can I
tears,
ask?
you don't look like. So what are you expecting from him? What is supposed to look like?
Hmm.
So that's one. And then two, the one I've had like the huge meltdown. That was when Mohammed has I don't even know, that was a blow up. One
Mm.
thing about me, I try to share the reality of my life now. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I even posted it on media, but I
Mm.
didn't just post the scene because I cannot even film it because it was
Mm.
hard. That's
Mm.
like my child attacking me right in front of the road. I was driving.
Mm.
I have to
Mm.
pull over. And he attacked me with the siblings in the car. He's
Mm.
in the car. I was dropping them off at school and he has an appointment.
Mm.
So that was a terrible morning. And that happened around 6:50 something a.m. It's still a little bit dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it happened in an open space. It happened in a gas station. So, no, it happened in a street. So I pull up right in the gas station when he attacked me. The right gas there, I just drove in there and I pull up. And you see when I get off the car and my son is attacking me, he's trying to fight me, he's trying to tear my clothes apart. There was two ladies in the gas station. You see them, they ran away. They didn't even, there was no help.
Mm.
They
Mm.
just ran
Didn't
away,
even try
entered
to
the
help.
car, and they were looking like it's a movie. And I was screaming their help, help, screaming, trying to go to the street. Mohammed was really trying to run to the street. And that's a freeway. The cars were going. They would just grind him. So I am trying to protect him from not running into the street. So that's where he was attacking me. Like, let me go, let me go. And then luckily, one police guy saw, and then they came, start calling police officers, and then I got help. But I was during the time when the officers are here, and then I got help. That's when I see this two ladies that run in their car came down and want to start asking me question. I'm like, for real? For
Mhm.
real? You see, I don't care how strong Mohammed is. I was able to
Mm.
handle him.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
able to grab him. Tells you if you come and help or ask question that moment
Yeah.
and help out, it should have been more better.
Yeah.
But you running away and you looking at me with those stares while I am
Yeah.
struggling with the child,
Exactly.
it just makes everything was just down. I had a huge breakdown too. I was so off. Like my
Yeah.
mental health was so off the hook. Immediately I got
Mm.
health. All I was focusing now is just trying to cry it all out because it
Mm.
was a horrible moment. But these are some of the moments that we go
Mm.
through. And these moments, you cannot show those moments on social media because
No.
why the camera? When are you going to hold that phone to record those moments? So these
Yeah.
are the moments that you will never see on the media, but it's happening.
Oh
It's
yeah.
happening. Your own child will attack you like you are the
I've
enemy.
had that.
And at
Yeah.
that moment, he don't care. He will
Hmm.
hurt you. He will do anything to you.
Hmm.
If you're not able to stand him or strong enough to control stuff, he will destroy you. He don't care. So these are the moments thinking
Hmm.
like, okay, this is my child. My child will never hurt me. No, not when they're dysregulated already. You don't even know what was going on. I don't even know what
Exactly.
sound he's hearing. I was not in his brain anymore. I don't know what's going on. So these are the things you don't see, and then you get judged as well. So the
Mm.
moment you are dealing with this, somebody is sitting in that car staring at you.
Hmm.
In his mind, they are judging you. They'll be
Yeah.
like, this is bad parenting. How can your child be beating you? Just like
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
saw that
Yeah.
video with JB and the mom, I was
Mm.
so
That went
upset.
viral,
People
didn't
are
it?
just judging.
So sad.
Not judging, you don't know. You just see a clip.
Mm.
You don't
Hmm.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
You cannot judge from a 1 or 2 minute clip that you just saw. You don't know what that
That's
family is
it.
doing. So that's the thing. The judgment, the
Hmm.
stares, that's the most that's even overwhelming that the
Mm.
meltdown we deal with. Trust me.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
I
go
just,
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Dolly.
I
Go ahead.
just saw someone post a question on the
Okay.
chat
Go
and
ahead.
asked, with the stares in the public, what would you expect?
Mm.
And I think I wanted to respond to that.
Hmm.
Um, it's human nature for us
Mm-hmm.
to want to stare and judge.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we like getting in our other people's business. Um,
I think it's got worse since we've got social media. So everybody feels they have a right now to be.
they have a right to
Mm-hmm.
To judge you.
judge,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunate. So as a parent, if I am struggling with a child who has autism, I would expect someone to step in
Mm.
and ask if I need help
Thank
Yeah,
you. Mm-hmm.
and ask, is
absolutely.
there anything I can do?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Can we call you for help?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like what seeing someone being abducted in the street and sitting there and looking at them and wondering, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
let them drive to Mexico with a
Yeah.
child who is not their own.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the expectation as a society we should have. It's
Yeah,
nature, as I said, it's human nature. It's what we want to do. But this is the narrative we're trying to change. This is what we're
Exactly.
trying to let people know. No, it's not okay
mm,
to see a parent struggling with a child with any special needs and you're just walking by, giving
Just
your
watch.
mean
mm,
looks and
Mm-hmm.
expecting that I'm going to be comfortable with that.
yeah.
If you're not helping me, please be on
Keep
your
Keep
way.
walking.
moving. Yeah,
Keep walking.
keep it
And be
moving.
fast in
Yeah.
walking.
And most of us grew up learning this. If you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. Your eyes says more
Exactly.
than your
Oh.
mouth does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're using your eyes, you just being judgmental as much as someone who has words to say. Just keep it
Exactly.
moving. Let
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
people be. If
Exactly.
you want to help, ask questions. What are the right questions you need to ask someone that is struggling? I
Mm-hmm.
remember the year that Jevin got diagnosed back in 2022, we went to Hawaii on vacation. Again,
Mm,
I've talked about this being me wanting to mask my reaction to everything, which didn't turn out the way I wanted to. But I saw a mom at I think it was a hula
Good.
hoo is what they call it. It's like
mm,
a party in Hawaii terms. And their
Mm-hmm.
child was just hysterical and screaming, and she couldn't even sit down. It's a reserved event that you pay to attend, and they have performances. And I had my cousin, who I love dearly, and I was like, I just feel like going and giving that mom a hug. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that child, but she was distraught. She was out of her element, and you could see the struggle on her face. So I just stood up and went and I said, "Can I help you?" And she explained that this daughter was just getting overwhelmed and just wanted to leave, and she cannot leave because they came in a group and it's a bus ride and they can't leave. There's some of those things that I wouldn't know. I would just sit there and judge her and like, if the child doesn't want to go, why can't you leave?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that easy,
But you don't know
yeah.
exactly.
and you don't know. So I just
Mm-hmm.
asked her, can I just give you a hug? And she said yes. I gave her a hug and walked on my way. It's
Mm,
the easiest thing I could have done is be on my seat, stay there, and continue being judgmental and continue talking to my cousin of, you look, see, bad
Exactly.
parenting,
mm,
doesn't
Mm-hmm.
get
mm,
whoopings,
That's
doesn't
mm-hmm.
the
get
first thing to
spankings,
do. Bad
spoiled
Yeah.
parenting.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all
I've
those
heard that
things.
plenty of times.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to respond to that quickly and say, yes, yours, we, I wouldn't expect any different, but I
Mm,
want people to start doing something different than
Different.
yeah.
what
Exactly.
the human nature is always
Absolutely.
is.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dominique.
Thank you for your response. And I think I
Mm-hmm.
asked that question because,
Okay.
sorry, my name is Elizabeth. I asked that question because I have the awareness. I know how
Mm-hmm.
to support people. But if we're doing focusing on Autism Month, I think
Mm-hmm.
we need to go further and educate people who do not know. So,
Mm-hmm.
listening to everybody here, we already have the awareness. We
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
want people out there to be able to support us and support our children,
Mm,
so
Mm-hmm.
we want to educate the society. So if it's going to be short clips, we do frequently ask questions, how to react,
mm,
how the S in autism doesn't mean stare at me, it means support me.
Hmm.
How the
Mm-hmm.
A doesn't mean give me attention, it means my child is authentic. And I need,
Mm-hmm.
so something like that. So I think we need to, in terms of sensitization and familiarization, so that people know
Agree.
what they need to do. A lot of people don't know. So I had a mom who had a meltdown in church on Sunday.
Mm.
It was quite busy on Easter Sunday. So I knew that that child was reacting to the times three of the crowd, which he has
Mm-hmm.
never seen before. I've observed him in church because I work as a security officer in church. And I know he comes in, it's his dad that always sits with him. But this day he came in with his mom and he wasn't settling at all. And the mom was crying, so the brother was trying to support him. And I just went and I held the mom and I was like, you know what, God's got your back. What do you need and things like that. But a lot of people do not know what to
Mm-hmm.
do. I know a little
Mm-hmm.
bit because from in terms of working at work, I do a
Yeah.
bit of research and all of that. So what further step can we take to educate the onlookers who may
Right.
want to help, but they don't know? Because again,
Mm.
you might go and support another mother and they can say, oh, leave me or whatever. Again, because
Mm.
in social media world, people are
True.
careful, safeguarding, they don't know what to do. So I think we need to
Mm.
go a
True.
step further, educating people on what support can be given. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Elizabeth. I mean, just to come back on that quickly, and before I move on to the next subject, um, and I think you touched on it and highlighted it that everybody is different. And one parent may, so Dolly had an interaction with that parent, and that parent wanted a hug and was, receptive to that. And you're right, some parents might not want you to get involved at all. And I think that is probably the same with a neurotypical child and parents. Um, I'd say in general, I would agree with both of Gilda and Dolly. As in, you want people not to stare. You want people to
Mm-hmm.
say, actually, are you okay? The
Mm-hmm.
amount of times I've done that, I've seen parents, and even if it's just a neurotypical child that's just having a
Mm-hmm.
meltdown, I
Mm-hmm.
say, are you okay? Because especially they'll do it in the middle of a supermarket, it's just, child crying, doesn't get what they want, throws a big tantrum, and everybody starts looking and criticizes you about your parenting style because you're probably just trying to ignore this child who's having a massive meltdown. um I'm quite happy to have somebody to come up to me and say, look, are you okay? How can I help? But
Mm-hmm.
I know that I have had said that to somebody and they've said, what's your business, and wanted me to, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think the most that I would say is my advice to go, like going away from today about this topic, as in what should you do, is I would say is I would always offer and say, look, are you okay? If
Mm-hmm.
they say it's none of your business, then
Yeah, then I
you
walk
just
away.
continue. But at
Mm-hmm.
the very least, because you don't know how much it touches a person. So Gabriel, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna move on. Gabriel, we was out in the supermarket the other day, and he wanted to have a one of those magazines that have the toys on, and those magazines are, when we're talking about pounds, are about now £7
Yeah.
for something he's
Mm-hmm.
not even going to, by the time we get in the car, he will no longer remember it. And I said, no, you're not going to have it. We're coming up to Easter. The Easter Bunny's coming. You're going to get, a special toy from the Easter Bunny. He was having none of it. But I was not. I was in my head. I said, Charlotte, you've got this. Do not back down because
Mm-hmm.
it will be learned behavior. If I give in, he is going to definitely keep doing it. And he
Yeah.
does this all. So he was quite surprised because mummy was sticking to what she was saying. We went through the whole supermarket. He was screaming. Everybody was looking at me. I said, I'm going to continue and I'm going to continue to do my shopping and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to and he kept screaming and he screamed and he said it's not fair and he was telling people to help him,
Oh
and
my God.
everybody is looking at me by now. We go to the checkout. I put the things on the conveyor belt. And what I remember came away from, and the lady on the cashier on the the register said to me, are you okay? And I just said, I'm okay, thank you. And she said, so then she turned to him and says, that is not, he said, what do you want? And he says, I want the magazine. I want, and she said, oh, it's very bad inside to this week. You can't have it. It's so bad. Listen to mummy. Mummy's got a really nice present for you at home. Um, And even though he didn't listen to her, it meant a lot that she was, not trying to judge me for,
Mm-hmm.
having this child who's so spoiled that wants everything,
Mm-hmm.
but actually thinking, actually something else could be going on. And then you do remember that and it stays with you um for a long time. And I probably will remember that interaction for a while. Okay, so let me stop talking and ask you the questions. So thank you so much for sharing those experiences. I definitely know that it's going to help a lot of people and they can probably relate with a lot of what we said. So let's talk about education. And I think it's quite good because we're all in we're you're in different in America, but in different states, and I'm in the UK. What's been your experience? Dolly, you touched on this a little bit with schools and the education system. Do you want to go? Do you want
Oh
to
my
go,
God.
Javian?
Of course.
So,
Well, first, I want to say that we did not even know we had struggles until we started school.
mm,
Everything seemed to be normal at home because,
Mm-hmm.
Javen is the only child. He played by himself. No one to annoy, no one to do things on. No one wants his toys when he doesn't want to share. No one wants to play with him. So when he started in preschool, um, I started getting notes from
mm,
school
mhm,
of the things that went on, and unfortunately, multiple things a day. Sometimes, of course, he has to go home. He can't do that. He had a meltdown. We're trying to remove him from class, and he had a huge meltdown. He could not go to church because he can't sit down, and all the things. We were in one school for, I would say, 4 years,
mm,
pre-K 4 through third grade. And I think what sustained us to that school was just grace
mm,
and me going out of my way to be available to the teachers to support them. Not in terms of every time I got a call running to school to pick him up, I got to stand up and say, he stays in school, no matter what
mhm,
it is that
mhm,
happened. But I became this mommy who once a week is buying bagels or buying donuts for my teachers just to show
mm,
them support. And that's me buying their loyalty to supporting my child.
mm.
People don't know those things happen, but they do happen.
Yep.
They call me Mama Bear at school because every time they would text, call, email with this and this happened, I want the whole story. I don't
Mhm,
just want to see what he did, what his reaction was. Tell me what happened before that.
mhm,
Let's
exactly.
start where this all issue started because the
Mhm,
problem is not his reaction. The problem is what caused that reaction.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
My son started school nonverbal, so most of the time he could not communicate
Mm,
and its reactions came out in behaviors. And I will keep saying this until the day I leave this world. Every behavior is communication. I don't care
mm,
what it looks like.
exactly.
Um, so we struggled with meetings and teachers that made comments of, oh, the only child problem, behavior problem, single mom problems.
Mhm,
Mm-hmm. They're going personal now.
mm,
You don't expect these things happening at school.
mhm,
And you still want to be civil, you still want to respect them, you still want your child to go to school because I work.
mm,
And I can't have my child at home. Who is
Exactly.
going to watch them?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't homeschool.
Yeah, the cost of paying private daycare is more expensive than putting them. And I want to say, Matthew, this is a Catholic school,
Mhm,
Christian to the point.
mm,
Fast forward, we ended up being kicked out of school.
Oh
mm,
my God.
mhm. I've heard
Third
that.
grade, I got a meeting, sat
Mm,
down. We were told, we have tried. He is not catching up to his peers. We
mm,
don't have any more resources to support him. That basically tells you we want high grades and your child is not getting there.
Mm.
Wow. This
So
is
we had
good.
to move to a different school, which we only lasted a year. Well,
Mm.
no, months. We didn't even last a whole year. We started in school, and my son comes home and complains about being bullied by other kids,
Mm.
being called weird, being told that go home and never come back. And
Oh, wow.
Kids
he
can be
came
mean.
home heavy. But what you're hearing from the teachers is
Mm.
completely different. They tell you this other story of, oh, he's always doing this. He did this and this to the kid. But if you ask them what that kid did to him, there's
Mm.
always never an answer.
Yeah.
So I realized that my child has been labeled a problem child.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happens to him doesn't
They
matter.
don't care. Mm-hmm.
What happens to other kids, students, it
Mm-hmm.
absolutely matters, and I need to know about it.
Yeah.
At one point, my son came with scratches on himself, and no teacher had a clue what had happened. I have to bring it up to the teacher. Why is he always have this? What is happening at school?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I had to stay engaged. We got to a point where my son refused to go to school.
Mm. Yeah.
Wow.
He is bullied. No
Mm.
one is doing anything. The kids
Mm-hmm.
being kids, and I don't hate kids, but I just hate know that the kids can be the meanest people
Mm.
ever. Um,
Can be.
didn't want anything to do with him. He felt alone. As much as I tried to tell, hey, look, mommy doesn't have many friends, but
Mm.
things that he get that people tell him, like, why do you keep talking about this? Why are you always talking about this? Why do you always have this? This is weird. You're weird.
Mm.
The child
Mm.
was so uncomfortable.
That's so bad.
Mm.
That sucks. Mm-mm.
We had to move again to a different school. Lasted a month.
Wow.
He did not like the teacher, did not like to go to school, period.
Wow.
Can't argue. So we ended up moving.
Mm.
Hmm. Mm-mm.
Now
You
we're in a different
you are the best
county.
person to answer the question about schooling.
Mm.
we're in
That
Exactly.
a
question was for Dolly, for real.
we're at a different school since December of last year.
Mm.
He's had problems here and there,
Mm.
but overall, a very, very understanding special education
That's good.
district.
That's
Mm.
good.
Yeah.
They've
Final.
only moved him classes once.
Okay.
That's good.
And I was adamant, like you can't move him classes every time these things are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm.
doesn't have social interaction skills. So the way he interact with
And it
other
affects him too.
kids
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
affects him. And one of the things that I was making me adamant is he was being overstimulated by another student who my son said does never shut up.
Mm.
Wow.
And every time my son just want to walk up to him and be like, can you just shut up? One day he said, he can shut up. I'm just going to go make him shut up. It's him reacting to the stimulus.
Mm.
As bad as that is, as bad as a parent, I wouldn't advocate for him to do that to anyone's child. And I want to
Mm.
say that is not okay by all means. We also need to look at this other child who wants to talk
Mm.
and want to be loud. Why
Mm-hmm.
is he not the one being moved classes? Why is it my son the one has to move different teachers to a different class to
Mm.
accommodate the talker?
Mm.
Mm.
It's challenging,
So
isn't it? It's
It
difficult.
yeah,
is.
I
Yeah,
had to
balance.
let it go and be comfortable with it. He's been with this other class
Mm.
for a month. The other night he was crying that he wanted to go back to his homeroom classroom.
Mm.
He hasn't revisited it. Fingers crossed. We only have a month and a half before school is out.
Mhm.
I am just praying.
Just praying for him to just go through it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's
Finish
just
the
a
year
month
off.
and we're almost there.
But that's what we think.
Yeah,
That's
but you
Mm,
never know.
our
You know,
reaction is you can push through. And as a parent, I want to encourage him,
it's so hard.
mm,
stay here. But to him, it's not that easy.
yeah.
There is probably someone he connected with in that other class that he feels, no, I would rather be with that person than be here. There is
Yeah.
probably he likes that other teacher more like he, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
his routine has changed and he is
Yeah,
realizing that
Yeah.
that's
I don't like this routine. I like that other routine in that classroom.
Mm,
yeah.
And that's why I want to be understanding is like, what is it that it's making you want to go back to that other classroom? He
yeah.
has not been able to tell me that. And that's another struggle. He will
Mm,
probably never get to articulate that to me and tell me what's going on. That he anyway, to cut
yeah.
long story short, we have been
It's been a
we've been
Through
struggle
moving
for
we've
around.
been through the system. Yeah. I
It's
We've
been
mean,
a
been through the
struggle for real.
systems.
For real.
Yeah, I am known. I am known to fight, and I will fight until I lose it.
yeah.
So,
So yeah, I
But
think
that's it. That's the
that is
advocacy
it.
and that's the
We
mom
have to be.
spirit. So you have to be. So
If we don't fight, who's gonna
and you
fight for
keep
our children?
changing and changing until you get what works for your child.
Exactly.
So you keep
mhm,
That's
doing
it. We are
doing
here
what
to
you're doing.
advocate for our children. This
Yeah,
is what
you have
exactly
to.
what we're doing.
right.
For me, it's a totally different thing with Dolly.
Mm,
So for me, I've only had issue with this year, this
yeah.
academic year. I
Yeah.
think that was the only time I had issue, and then we are able to fix it. Mohammed was
Mm,
moved to another class,
yeah.
and they hired a whole new teacher that comes
Mm,
in, and then they try to divide the students. And Mohammed moved because I already know where the problem was coming from.
yeah.
Because
Mhm,
I've never had an issue with Mohammed going to school and somebody will call me, come pick up Mohammed.
Mm,
He's been having good days. He loves school. You wake up
yeah.
in the morning, Mohammed is ready for school. Mohammed is one of the child, is non-verbal, but he knows Monday to Friday. He know when it's a Saturday, he know when it's a
amazing.
Sunday.
Mm, yeah.
He knows his days of the week by brain. He
And I'm
knows
sure
when
even
That's
if he can't tell
amazing.
the time, he knows the time.
oh no,
'Cause,
he
yeah,
knows
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
He
My
knows
children are
it's,
the
it's
same.
so fixed and
Hmm.
clocked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we knows when it's a Sunday, you will see Mohammed wrap it up, pull you to go get him a shower and let him go to bed. He knows
Mm,
that when he goes before he goes to bed, he has to pick his clothes because he pick his
mm,
clothes.
Mm,
And he has to pick that clothes and he has to put it in a certain way and a certain place. And you cannot move it. If you move it, he will know. I don't know how he will find out that he's moved. His
mm,
instinct will come back and he will check. He has to hand his clothes right where and he has to be there. And he
mm,
wake up in the morning. Some days I have to wake him up. Some days I'll meet him up already laughing. Like today it happens. I met him,
mm.
he's
I saw
already
you.
happy,
Yeah.
getting
Yeah.
ready for school. So he's up a good mood. So I've never had an issue. But when he started the new school, when I moved, I bought a house and moved to a different new city.
Yeah.
When he started going to school, this academic year, he was moved to an intermediate because he's now in fifth grade. He's going to sixth
Okay.
grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was moved to the intermediate. No, he's in sixth grade, sorry, going to seventh. So he was moved to the Parkway, the intermediate school. So when he went
Okay.
there, he started the first week was good. The second week, I don't know what happened up till now. The teacher was not explaining, but I noticed that Mohammed is one child that loves cuddles, he loves kisses,
mm,
he loves these mushy things.
touching,
Mm,
yeah.
mm,
When he's happy with you, he's comfortable with you, he'll be giving you high fives like the whole day. He will give you
mm,
a high five. He will do thumbs up. He will throw you a kiss. And I think the teacher is white. I don't know. Maybe he might not be racist, but just like, I'm not into this with you. I don't want to deal with
mm,
that.
mm.
But all the teachers he's been dealing with, they love it too. They enjoy him. And then he's very helpful. He loves to walk. He loves to do things in
Oh,
the
bless him.
classroom. He don't like to be idle. So
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. My mom may get upset. When he get upset now, he don't even want to go to that room. He don't want that
Um,
classroom at all.
there's something there then,
Yes, so
what he
Yeah.
it's like
doesn't
the
like,
teacher, it
even if
was
he
not
can't tell
working with
you.
it yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
they've been calling me like the whole 2 to 3 weeks. Every day I have to
Mm,
pick Mohammed from school. I have to pick him like maybe twice. He will have
yeah.
a
Mm,
big face to fight. He will spit at people in the class. He just don't want to
Mm,
be there. So there was a day they called me, and then I went to pick him up. And then I said, I want to see a video.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I said, I want to
never
see a
happened.
video. I said, because something is not right. If
Yeah.
Mohammed will be fine, happy living home, but
Mm,
immediately he gets to the bus, he don't even want to get off the bus. That's when he will start.
Mm,
mm,
And then they money get him the bus, and immediately he see that room and the teacher, he don't want to go in the room. And when they
wow.
force him to go there, he
there's
starts
something
throwing
there.
stuff. Yes.
Mm,
So when I asked for the video, they don't show me the video. They'll be like, okay, well, and then the next day they called me on a meeting. They just said, okay, we've decided we're gonna hire. We had a new teacher that
yeah.
was in place that should start to work and this, that, and we're gonna move
Mm,
Mohammed and some other students, but it's actually Mohammed is one of the biggest move because we think Mohammed don't like the room. And
yeah.
then I said, okay, now you're arriving where I wanted to see the video because I know something is wrong. My son has been
Mm-hmm.
going to different schools. He has had different teachers, and there has never been a day they complain. Every day you go, they'll tell you, oh my God, Mohammed, right
That's
now he's
better.
going to this junior high because of seventh
Okay.
grade. His
Okay.
teacher
Yeah.
right now is already crying every day that he's going to miss Mohammed. So that's
Mm,
how he's been. Every school he moved, people are
they
crying.
love him.
Teachers are sad. And they'll keep communication. They'll still communicate because they still want to see him. So for my son, all of a sudden, not wanting this teacher, something is not right. So
Mm,
luckily they move him to another classroom. And that was the fix. He's fine.
Mm.
see? There's
He
always
was
See,
something.
fine. Everything
yeah.
changed. They start seeing
And,
a different child again.
Mm,
No behaviors, everything was fine. And
and
he's
that's the
working so well
communication
with
I
the
was
teacher.
talking about,
Yeah.
Jay. Every
So
behavior is communication.
mhm.
exactly.
So that was it. So I've not had issue with school. The only problem I had
Mm,
recently with all these changes, this fighting government and everything else, they did not have a speech therapy for a long time, but they had now. So he was not doing speech therapy in school, which he's supposed to have it because of his nonverbal and he's in his IEP. He was not
mm,
having
Mm.
speech, he was not having OT for almost 2 to 3 or 4 months. Almost the whole time till December, they closed school. Mohammed was not having it. So that
mm.
was another thing that I keep fighting, writing different letters, sending emails, and
It doesn't
the
stop.
thing
And I
that
think people are
break me, the day
just,
I sent the last email, the thing that break me when the whole head of department for special needs said, it's not only you, I've had like 50 emails. I've not even
mm,
responded to parents.
mm,
So we are dealing with this broadly. Every
yeah.
district is dealing with this right now. We don't have special ed teachers. I'm like, wow. We don't have speech therapy. I'm like,
Mm,
okay. So after that, now everything is back on track and it's been good. So
okay.
we
That's
just keep holding up.
positive. I think
Yeah.
every day is different, as we said.
Every day is
Um,
different.
yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, I won't even go into my story of education because I think it'll take the whole evening. You ladies know that I had my accident just by being
Hmm.
exhausted and fighting a system that's
I
just not
know.
made for
Mm-hmm.
Fighting for
children.
system. Mhm.
Um, okay, so thank you so much. Um, I think it seems like we'll have to have another one of these uh panel
Patience.
talks because we're not going
Yeah.
to be able to get through all the questions. But let me move on to let's cover a little bit of um a different section. So let's talk about our well-being. We've touched on it. It's an emotional journey.
It
And
is.
I say to people, I still have days when I just break down because you think about just what your children need. And
Mhm.
the reality of it is that we're not going to be around forever. And my reality is who is going to look
I
after my
reality.
boys? Mum and dad is not going to be. And this
Mm-mm.
is a lifelong, commitment. This isn't one day we're going to wake up and our children are not going to have these needs. Yes, they might be able to be a little bit more independent and they may be able to live independently, but they may not. And I think we have to
Mm-hmm.
prepare for that. So when we're talking about emotions and mental health and well-being, Tell us, I'm going to take a positive stance. So how do you care for yourself while caring for your children? So, Jilde, tell us what you do.
Ah, for me, that's a very good question. And to be honest,
Mhm.
I always encourage parents to pour into themselves. Don't
Mm,
just be pouring into your child and pour into your child and pour into your child, especially when they have special needs. You're
mhm.
going to pour forever.
Yeah.
So make sure you have a break. Make sure you pour into yourself. And one thing I love about me, I love myself. To be
Mm,
honest, I love my kids. I adore them, but I have a limit.
mm.
Even with them, they know. Sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, mommy, today is your day." I say, "Yes, today
They know.
I am serious because I have to be whole to be able to take care of you guys. So I don't
Mm,
cross my limit. When I know my limit is about to be crossed, I take a break. I find a way to take a break. When my mom was here, I go to vacations. I take a break. I take vacations. I
mm,
go with friends. I just rethink and just rewind and forget the moments that I have to pour and pour and pour. Because
mm.
trust me, there are lonely nights, there are crying nights. People don't see them.
No.
So I have to fix myself to be able to take care of them.
Hmm.
And dealing with a special need child and also taking care of other toddlers.
Hmm.
My kids are all toddlers, all of them. So I have to really take a break. Some
Hmm.
days during the weekend, I said I need to sleep. I put a note on the door. Nobody should ask me for nothing. I've given you everything.
That
Go
wouldn't
into your
work in my
room. This is
house.
your nest. This is I want to take a nap. I need to sleep.
Uh,
And they will know that, okay, if you said if I don't sleep, I'm going to take all your gadgets for a week.
mm,
Now is my time. So I always tell parents, pour on yourself, take a break when you can, take care of yourself because we get so lost in caregiving.
mm,
And it is so easy to get lost. When you pour and pour and pour, you
hmm.
get lost. And one thing I know, like my son Muhammad, I know I'm gonna be a caregiver for the rest of my life with him.
Yeah.
Till
Yeah.
I get past. And then right now what I was thinking about is who is going to step in these shoes?
Yeah. I
How
think
is
about
it
all
gonna
the
happen?
time.
As much as I try to teach him independent skills and
Mm,
everything, but I just know he's not gonna be by himself. There's
mm,
no way he's gonna be alone. He will do stuff, but there has to be somebody that will be stepping in.
yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that's one thing I love when I parent my kids, the siblings know I don't want to leave a burden for you guys, but
Mm,
this is the reality of life. You
yeah.
know, my son, you know this child, this one is your daily thing. You live with them, you know them
Mm,
better. You're not going to be there like 100%, but I believe you're the only person that can step a little bit and say, you know what, I
mm,
know what I'm doing, or I
yeah.
understand him better. But it's
Yeah.
a hard journey. So taking care of
Very.
me, I do a lot, to be honest with you. There are days, mom, the one thing I love about my son now, he goes to a regular daycare. Mommy can go to a regular daycare. He don't
That's
need to go
good.
to a special need daycare. And he behaves well. He understands. I just have to give him like prompt him days before, remind him, put it on
Mm,
his schedule, tell him this day or this day I'm gonna drop you on this place for some time. And I drop him. I take my time with my partner. I go on movies. I
mm.
go have parties. I go on dinners because I have to pour in me.
It's
And when
true.
I take him back, we come back the 4 or 5 hours. It's not gonna kill him. No. But take a
No.
little break. Look for a way. I don't have my mom with me, but I look for a way. Right now, I'm
Mm,
going for a vacation that is planned for Mother's Day.
mm,
I have nobody to watch Mohammed.
yeah.
I've weighed everything I know. Okay, my other kids, they can go to their dad.
Yeah.
The dad can watch them while I go. But I
Mm,
don't have nobody to leave Mohammed with. And to be honest
mm,
with you, I can leave Mohammed in the daycare for 4 hours or he
yeah.
goes to school. But I
Yeah.
cannot leave him with somebody I don't know for not even 1 hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
So this is like bringing somebody in my house or whatever. I said, okay, the least I can do, I'm going to take him. So we're going on the Mother's Day trip. So I'm taking him, but I will not
Mm,
cancel that trip. I have to go. So
yeah.
there are ways, always find a way to have your own time and also take care of yourself because trust me,
Mm,
it's not easy. It's not easy.
yeah.
There are days you will go the whole week, you're not sleeping.
Yep.
You're not sleeping. It's not
Yep.
because your
Yep.
child is waking you up It's because of the thoughts in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
You're lost into caregiving.
Mm.
You go in a way that you keep thinking and thinking, and you can't keep thinking of the future, which is not even here.
Yeah.
And that future, that way thinking of the future already stops you from sleeping. Maybe a whole week you'll be in that mood. And being in that mood for a whole week already tells you you're going to be lonely because you're going to shut everybody out.
Mm.
Shutting everybody out meaning you don't even want friends to call you. You don't want to hold a conversation. You're
I feel
already in
attacked.
your own world.
I feel attacked, Judy.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't feel attacked. I am talking about me too. So it's the two of us, Mama. I be in my own world. And one thing, I have my partner that I have, he understands that. Immediately he starts calling and I said, how you doing? I keep saying, I'm fine. You're doing fine. It's like, okay, babes, you know what? This is your week off. I know what you're dealing with. I'll say you will send flowers, you will send something, you will find, but you will not call me because you know everything is gonna get is fine, fine, and fine. Even if I'm breaking down. And it's the reality of our lives. That's the lives we live. And people that do not understand, they will take it like, oh, okay, I'm done with you. That's how we lose friends. You start counting, you will not even have your close friend will not even be two because you shut down. And those moments you shut down, they are not going to understand you. So that's the thing. So the moment you're in your own the time you know you have a break, please take a break. Go back and refix your brain and come back and start all over again. So it's good to take breaks, please. And Dolly, don't feel attacked. Me and you are the same.
No, we're not, sister. I
We need
refuse.
to get that self-care. I mean, I think
Very important.
I'm very bad. I have to admit, I'm very bad at taking time out for myself.
Oh,
I think as well when we talk about self-care and also talking about relationships, I think, you know, it's difficult. And I think sometimes, you know, no matter if you're single on this journey or if you're married on this journey or in a relationship, whatever it may be, it is then trying to make time for each other,
it's
time to
hard.
make time for yourself. I mean, you know, I was like hiding my hair under wigs. I didn't even do anything underneath my hair, and I'm so embarrassed. Like since December, I just went yesterday to like do my like just get my hair washed and braided. I'd left it that long. That's the longest I've ever done that. And I just said to myself, like, how long are you gonna keep going? And you keep going and going and going. And I have a job that's a stressful job, and then I'm coming and doing stuff which I love doing for autism cycle support, but it's also about what am I doing for myself. And so I think it's really important when you talk about that, Jilde, about having that time to yourself, making a conscious effort to do that self-care, because we are doing, and it's not a job, but you know,
That's a commitment. A job
yeah,
is
it's a
something
commitment
that
that,
makes you not live, but that's
yeah,
something forever.
you you
So,
can't just say, okay, well, you
what
know,
can I do?
I've had enough, let somebody else take over.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really difficult. Okay, just for time reasons, I'm going to give you a different question, Dolly, so we can cover
Sure.
a couple of these. So, what would be your advice to give to somebody who has just had their child diagnosed with autism?
That's very
And it's a
important.
tough question.
That's
But
a
what
nice
would your
question.
advice?
Don't take a vacation like I did.
That's not an advice.
No, on a serious note, just remember your child is still the same. Most important thing, nothing has changed about your child.
Yeah.
The child you had yesterday before you knew what they are, and the child you have today after the diagnosis is the same child. Give yourself time to go through the acceptance process
And grief.
and grief, but don't do it too long.
No, no.
Don't sit there, feel sorry for you and your child forever, because every minute counts. Those services, those speech therapy, those OT, those therapies are crucial and essential. I have always shared a story about my son.
Yeah.
He started speech therapy at 15 months old.
That's good.
15.
Very good.
At the time, I thought, what a waste of time. At the
It was
time, I
Mm.
spent time running speech therapy 3 times a week, developmental therapy. He didn't start OT until he was 2,
Mm.
but he was nonverbal. And my son started speaking at 4 years old. And I believe, and I can say that with certainty, although I don't have the scientific data to show it, if we did not have those speech therapists in its very early age, before even having an autism diagnosis, my son would never have spoken.
Thank you.
Mm.
That's
I
that's one thing that I messed up on. So
You didn't
that's
mess
a
up.
very good
That's not the right
advice.
word.
That's a very good advice, Dolly.
you did not mess up.
No,
You went with what you had at the time. I did
exactly.
not have an autism diagnosis. The doctor thought he needed speech therapy. As a mom, I could have said, you know what? No,
Mm.
he doesn't.
No, he
He's
does, yeah.
he is too little,
Mm.
but I went with it.
It's
And
good.
that's one thing that I'm very, very grateful for in this journey, is sticking with it. As much
Yeah.
as I did not have time, as much as exhausting as it was, 3 times a week speech therapy was not the easiest thing to do.
Mm.
But back then I was married. I had plenty of time in my plate, to say the least. But I understand parents don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
The only thing that I can say is it is a sacrifice.
It is big
It
time.
is a
Yeah.
sacrifice that you make. These are expensive therapies.
Mm-hmm.
Look for these resources in your states. There are free resources. We started with speech therapy, developmental therapy. Below 3 years old was free. It runs through different nonprofits through the state of Tennessee. When your child turns 3, they get tested again. If they do, they graduate to different services. We were lucky to look that up. We were lucky to get him into those resources.
Mm.
Yep.
Ask around, talk to people who have been there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ask people that you know, or someone who knows someone. That's what we always say, even in Africa. If you need a job, know someone who knows somewhere, who works somewhere.
Right.
And you get connections.
Mm.
It's not your own, this is not your journey by yourself. You are not alone. Talk to
No.
people, ask questions. Don't be afraid to tickle the bear.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Go open those doors, knock those doors. Some will shut, finally, some will open. Be your biggest child's advocate. I cannot insist that hard enough. If you don't fight for your child, no
Nobody.
one will come and do it for you.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care who you are, where
Mm.
you belong, no one will do it.
No one will do it. No.
No,
It will
exactly.
just have to be you.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are going to do it 10 years from now, why don't you start now?
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll be 50,000 miles farther than when you started.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my advice to anyone.
Thank you so much, Dolly.
Thank
I
you.
think it's brilliant advice. I agree with all of it actually. Okay, so I'm gonna let you answer the last question, Jodie, and then because there's lots of questions. I want everyone to have a chance to ask their questions in the chat. So lastly, this is a big one, Jodie, and I know
Which
you've
one?
got this.
Don't tell everyone.
What is the one message that you would leave tonight's audience with? What is the one message that you think that they should take away from tonight's panel discussion before we go into the Q&A?
We've talked about almost everything right now.
Mm.
But one main one I want everybody to take away with today is inclusion.
Mm.
Inclusion, find a space, create spaces for our kids, please. You can create awareness, you can accept them, which is always there.
Mm.
Acceptance is where awareness starts. If you don't
Mm.
accept, you will not spread awareness.
Yeah.
That those two go together already. Immediately you start talking about autism, you've accepted it. So those
Mm.
two go together. But the biggest one is the inclusion, and that's what we keep fighting for.
Yeah.
Even this year, the autism theme says autism and humanity.
Mm.
They said every child has a value.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So don't look at the diagnosis, look at the abilities of that child. And
Mm-hmm.
they do have abilities. Trust
Mm-hmm.
me, they all do. Even that one that is severely autistic, if only they can sit and regulate themselves a little bit, you will find something from them that you will learn. So every child is valued. Every life has a value. So please, let's start creating spaces for our kids, for the adults, not just the kids, the adults.
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
autism does not end at childhood, it grows
Yeah.
with you.
absolutely.
It's not something that ends. Like you say, okay, it's 18 now, it's okay. In fact, some
Mm.
kids, the more they age, the more it get worse, the more the
Yeah. I
challenges
think
are
I can
there.
attest. I think it's the
Yes,
different challenges that come with
yes. Challenges
them
grow
getting.
with ages
Yeah,
for some.
exactly.
So please, let's take away that. Do not just look at a child in your community or in your environment or in your
Mm.
school or in your church and you think, oh, this is it for this child. They all have
Mm-hmm.
something that you can work on. Create
Absolutely.
spaces for them. Give them a space and also add some resources in a
Mm-hmm.
way that you'll be able to support them in that particular environment that you put them to grow. So please, the abilities are there,
Mm-hmm.
awareness is there, acceptance has been there, but the inclusion is not there. We're still fighting for inclusion. That's why you
Yep.
see our kids, some of our kids are stuck in a
Yeah.
special ed class. They don't even go to other classes because
Mm.
there is no resources to cater for them there. It's not
Yeah.
like they are not fit to be in those classes. They are. But because of the resources is limited and they don't have enough staffing, you see that child is stuck in that special ed class.
Mm.
And there are lots and lots of things that they will learn in other classes. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing that I'm still fighting with, and I've been fighting with my son. Because he's
Mm.
been in a special ed class for a long time. They only
Mm.
take him out to go join PE and I think one other class, I forgot. But now I see my son is learning new things. Like
Mm.
we have to create space to take him to different classes, have a one-on-one, and let him learn. Let him just
Yeah.
be in that one class. So it's been a fight for almost a year, and then almost end of the year now we're accomplishing
Mm.
it. Now he's going around different classes. And it's because I keep pushing, I keep asking, I keep pushing. Because whenever they do IEP or ARD meeting, they'll be like, every I said no. The goals are okay. He can still keep these goals, but work
Yeah.
with these
Mm-hmm.
goals in another class setting,
And
Mm.
not
exactly.
just in this one secluded class with just them. Let him go learn some stuff. And they start doing it. Now Mohammed is eager to have
Mm.
friends
Mm.
because
Mm.
now we see him going to different classes. Other kids are interacting with him. He's learning. His social skill is expanding. Now he urge
Yeah.
for friends. Now you
Mm.
see when even you take him into a park, you see kids, he will run and go to them and start doing what they are doing. He wants to be friends with them.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Before he will not do that because he's just used to be in that close circle with just everybody else that does the same challenges, just like
Right.
him. And that is not inclusion.
Exactly.
That is not inclusion. I know it's hard, resources are limited, and of
Mm.
course, the diagnosis is high. So every day they diagnose new kids, every child need help. So
Yeah.
the resources are getting limited, but they need more help. So please, that's what I want to leave you guys with. And
Thank
thank
you.
you all for being part of this panel. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And don't go just yet. You've still got some
Oh,
questions now. Now we're doing the Q&A, but we hand over to everybody else. So I can see Mary S has had her hand up for a while, so I'm going to let you go
okay.
first. Mary, I'm assuming you have a question. You can unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hi everyone. I'm so delighted to be here. I'm in Washington State. I'm following the conversation, very educative. I can relate with each one. I have three kids. I have my oldest daughter, she's 17. She's a
Mhm.
typical child. I have two boys on the spectrum. One is turning 15 and the other one is just 3 years old.
Okay.
The older one is level 3 and the younger one is level 2. And just like the discussions have been going, of course, all of them are very different. Um, like I laughed when Dolly was saying that Javin doesn't like showering. For me,
Okay, you have that experience too.
my older one is the fish. The younger one is the one that has phobia, real phobia. You'd almost think he's going for surgery
Oh,
when he
Oh
wow.
my
came out of the
gosh.
shower. Yeah. But we are doing some sensory toys. We've been lots of therapy with him. So at
Good.
least we are breaking that. My question is, I am the one who asked about the siblings, the mental health of the siblings of the children of
Mm,
the ones on the spectrum. That said is because I said my oldest is almost 17. Of course, she's a teenager with her own struggles.
mhm,
Besides having two brothers on the spectrum, and
Mhm.
then I'm a Kenyan originally, but I live in the US. And
Mhm.
like the way we've grown up, we have like siblings taking care of the younger ones and all that. I have not burdened it on her, but somehow along the way, because of other challenges that we had as a family, she developed depression and she's on medication for that.
mhm,
And part of the things, okay, part of the things she was telling me about is, I always think about my life ahead, my life in the future.
mm,
She's this very kind, selfless person. So she's always thinking about others. So she's always be like, will I even get married? Will I even
Mm,
have a life of my own? How will it be for my brothers?
mm,
And of course, I tell her, you're a child. First of all, you need to know that you're part of my children, the three
mhm.
of you, and
Yeah.
we've
yeah.
taken care of those things. And of course, there are many other things. I know you people know about the trust funds and all those things that you need to put in place and all that. I mean, there are things that we've tried to do as a family, but she's
Mm,
still very concerned about that. So she has anxiety due to that and many other things.
Mhm.
So well, we are working with therapy, but I would like a parent to share maybe who will just be very, very open,
mm,
maybe how it has been for them, for the siblings, especially when the sibling who is neurotypical is the older one.
That's the same
mm.
thing I have.
Yeah,
I'll
go
Yeah,
ahead. I was
answer
going to
that.
say you're probably going to be best
I'll
to
be the
answer that
best. I'll
question.
answer
yeah.
that. But
Mm,
the only thing is your own sibling you're saying is older. For me, I have Mohammed is the oldest, and he's the one that has autism. And then he has three siblings, they don't have autism.
Yeah.
So one, that's something that is very, very important. I love the question because when you have a child with autism, sometimes it can be so much. You can see him taking some time off the others.
mm,
Like the time you have to spend with the others, you
yeah.
see the behaviors or whatever when they're going through their own moments, especially when the other kids are around. Because me, I have I have those moments. It happens. But one thing that I've decided to do because it's very, very important to check on the mental health of the siblings
Mm,
because you will get so carried away, you think they're strong, they understand what's going on, it's okay for them to adapt, they can understand, it's their siblings, we all can do it as a family. It's very important for them to know you do it with them, but do you have time that you take a break
mm,
and just get them to yourself and then ask them what's going on? I do that. For me, I do regular checks
mm,
when my kids are around, especially on weekends, and Mohammed is here. So just imagine weekends, they're in the same space. Things happen, especially when Muhammad has had a steaming, a lot of meltdown. You'll be like, you don't want nobody close by, and you'll be disturbing them. They might be watching a show, and then
mm,
Muhammad is loud at the background, and he wants to be in the same room with them watching the show. I have to step in, find a way to calm Mohammed down. Sometimes I just take Mohammed out and let them be. But after the whole thing has ended, the day has go down, everybody is resigning in their rooms. I go one-on-one in everybody's bed and I lie down and talk. And that's when they will open up. They open up. They tell you exactly what they don't like. They tell you what they like, how draining it feels for them. It's a very breaking moment because you will not expect some words that they will say or things that will come out. But you have to do it as a parent because that's the only way you'll be able to fix whatever thing that is disturbing them that they cannot share. Because one thing, they don't want to share it with you or say it so you don't feel offended. One, two, they don't want to act mean so you don't feel like, oh, if I say this, I'm hurting Mohammed. I have to be sympathetic or empathetic towards Mohammed all the time. You don't have to be, it's not in your place for you to always be taking in and taking in. Let them know that you need to be voicing out. Saying stuff. Let them know that you need to say it out. Say things out. Let me know. So what I do, I go one-on-one in their bed. I lay down with them. And I'm always asking questions like, what is going on? Oh, I will ask, how you doing, Jamila? You know, and then they'll be talking. And then I will say, what do you feel about your brother? Sometimes they'll be like, Mommy, why are you asking me? But I want to know. And then they will share. They will share the good. They will share the parts that is disturbing them. And then that's where you step in and talk to them. Because if I don't do it now, now they are little. Now they can, now they have the kids are very much honest. When they are little like that, they are very honest.
Have no filter.
They don't lie, exactly. But when they get older, that's when mental health will kick in. Because they'll feel like this is a burden for me. So I let them know Mohammed is never gonna be a burden.
Yeah.
Do not think Mohammed will ever be a burden to you. No. You have your own life to live. You get 18, you go to college, you're gonna move out, you get married, take care of your kids. Mohammed is your sibling. The only thing, make sure the love is there. Always make sure you check on Mohammed, even when you grow apart. But if you start telling them Mohammed is gonna be a burden, we're family, that's gonna be you, it's gonna take a toll on their mental health.
Yeah.
Because they already see how I am draining some days when Mohammed is going off the hook. So why would they think that, oh, when Mohammed is not around, so now I have to be a mommy for Mohammed? It's going to tell on them. So Mohammed is not your responsibility, but Mohammed is your sibling. And you have to just love and understand what he's going through. And that's one thing that I do. I make sure they know what autism is. When Mohammed is having a bad day, just like I teach them about autism, just like I go and spread awareness out there, I also do it in my house because charity starts at home. If I don't do it with them and I'm doing it out there, it's like you're educating people out there and then your kids are in there. They need to know. So the awareness is there with my kids, but I make it known to them. Mohammed will never be a burden to you. Even though you have a sibling with special need, do not see him as a burden.
Yeah.
Mohammed is learning stuff. That's why he's growing into a man every day. Yes, he's going to need you as a sibling because everywhere he turns around, seeing different people, he wants the love from you. Your own love is going to be the most top priority. And that's one thing I'm building. I'm building them. I'm starting now, creating a space where they love each other and they have empathy for each other. But nobody is a burden to no one. Everybody has a life to live. They all have to grow up and live their own normal lives. Yes, so that's one thing that I do. And like I said, do the weekly or monthly check-ins. If you cannot do it weekly, it's going to be hard because of schedules, but please, let it be a monthly schedule to check in on your kids' mental health, especially the siblings, if you have a special need child in the house. Because however you look at it, they have these pleasures. That is just normal. And they are kids. It is just normal for them. Just to have a day, maybe they're watching their show. Like the other day, Jamila told me, oh, I didn't like it. I was enjoying my show. Mommy just walking and was just screaming and took the remote and just turned off the TV. That gets him off. I have to talk to him to get him back to like, okay, it's okay. Tomorrow, I'll make sure you watch the same show, give you time to watch it, and I'll make sure I have Mohammed with me so he will not even have a little bit of noise. And I will make sure he accomplished that in a very peaceful environment the next day and I keep Mohammed away from him. Not like you don't want Mohammed around, but I'll find a way to distract Mohammed so Mohammed would not interrupt her, because that's one thing he has requested. So the more you check in on them, the more you ask questions, the more you try to focus on their mental health, it will be better. And you will
Yeah.
see them loving that child, that sibling more and more, because they'll be there to pour into that child as much as you're also pouring into that special need child. But if they don't get that time from you, they don't understand nothing, you just let them just feel like, okay, we are doing it together as a family. Let's just do it. This is our cross. Let's carry it. No, it's not their cross to carry. It's yours as a parent to carry. Everybody. But let them understand what is going on. And the love has to be there. Create that space where love is going to take place. For me, I'm from Africa. I believe one thing: when you eat together, you love each other. This is a routine in my house. Every weekend, they have to eat from one bowl and one spoon. That is me.
Mm.
And I'll make sure I sit in the middle, I have you guys around, and I feed you guys.
Oh,
I
wow.
put the same spoon in everybody's mouth. That's just a way I'm creating a bond. It's not like you don't know how to eat for yourself. Of course, they can cut their food, vomit, and eat. They're all grown now. The only child I need help is my 5-year-old. Even Mohammed know how to cut food, warm his food, and eat. But it's just a way, because I am trying to create that space. Even when they get older, they will be checking on Mohammed. Even when they're away, they'll be like, even if Mohammed ended up having a caregiver, like a one-on-one taking care, they will call and check on their brother. That is the environment I am creating. And that is the reason why. There's sometimes they will wake up in the morning, they will say, "Good morning, mommy." I say good morning to Mohammed. Mohammed is the oldest. They'll say, "Oh, good morning, Mohammed." Everybody will come and say good morning. You still have to give him respect. His special need does not mean you have to take it away. He's still the oldest. So when you create those space, those boundaries, everybody knows a boundary in this house. It works out perfectly. And I'm able to do things with them, even by myself. For the fact that I can take them now, go to a vacation, travel with them alone. There have been boundaries, and they don't cross those boundaries. And there's been a love, and the routine keeps going on. It's gonna be a lot on me, but it's okay as long as it's working. So that's the only thing I can share.
That is not only. I want to say that is not only.
Yeah.
That's a lot of wisdom.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mary. I'm
And
gonna, just for time purposes, move on to, let's see if we can get two more questions in. So is there anybody, I know there's a few things in the chat, but is there anybody that wants to ask an immediate question before we end, or before I go to the chat? So if you want to ask your question, if you've already put it in the chat, please do just put your hand up. If not, I will go through the chat and just see if there's anything that anybody has asked. So we've talked about the onlookers, how to address that. Sorry, bear with me, ladies. So if there's any question in the chat that you can see, please answer it. So yeah, so we've got here, Brenda. Hi, Brenda. Just talked about parenting, especially mothering, can feel isolating most times. Ask for support, find support groups. It makes a difference. It does. Know that you are doing your best at all. So, we've formed this friendship group or mothers group, and we're all in different countries, or even if we're in the same country, in different states. So we've got that. I think it's definitely important. I can see Doing Sellers put our WhatsApp group on there, parent WhatsApp group. If you're not already, haven't joined it, please do join our parent WhatsApp group. We'll share any kind of webinars or anything that's happening there. It's also a place to vent, get advice, support. So Elizabeth has said another sensitization that can be done will be with education institutions, and actively promote people getting into special needs teaching line. Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm going to do is I will ask the last question. Dolly, are you ready for this?
Yes,
Okay.
as ready as I can be.
So I think also what we're talking about acceptance. I think it was you that touched on schools, about acceptance in schools as well. So what would acceptance look like in workplaces, in communities, in places of worship? What would you say that that would look like to you? What would acceptance, real acceptance? I know we've talked about inclusion, but what would real acceptance look like? I think that's quite a hard question, actually, me thinking about it. But what ideally, if we had a magic wand and we could
Hmm.
wave our magic wand, what would you wave that magic wand and wish for your child? Let's think about Javian. What would you wish for Javian?
I would like for Jevin to go to the library,
Mm,
talk about dinosaurs,
mm,
make the noise in the library. We know it's a quiet place, but he is different. He can't hide his joy when he sees a dinosaur or a
mm.
dinosaur book and just move out and go on his way.
Yeah.
You've given him a reason to come back to the library next week.
Mm.
If
And I think
we go to
it's those
church,
small things, isn't it? Yeah, go
yes.
ahead. Sorry.
Now go ahead.
No, I mean, I think so. I would 100% agree. I think when we talk about autism awareness or acceptance, people think it has to be something major, something
Hmm.
big that we want the world to change for our children.
Yep,
And I would say, pretty much like you, I just want to, for me, acceptance is that there are no barriers for my children.
exactly.
Um, I don't have to think, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to take my child here because I'm thinking about how the other people may react or how I
Hmm.
might feel like my child is making them have a horrible experience in, for instance, in the library because my child is, and then you go and you start feeling overwhelmed. And then that, even though you don't say anything, your child feels it. And then it
Yeah.
just becomes something, an activity that you don't want to do. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so sorry, Dolly, go ahead. I can see someone else
No,
has got their
the
hand up.
same, yeah, the same things go to churches. There are some
Mm,
kids who doesn't go to church because when they
hmm.
start stimming, people are insensitive.
Yeah.
Um, and same thing to flying.
Hmm.
Javin and I, when I travel with Javin, we pre-board.
Yeah.
I actually had someone ask why we were pre-boarding.
Wow.
Mm, mm,
And I'm like,
Because of
like,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah. No, I
So
understand.
things like that, it's autism is something that you can't see. It does
Mm,
not have a look.
hmm.
Mm-mm.
And to get most people to have that acceptance, to have that let this kid be with other kids,
Yeah.
interact with other kids
Mhm.
differently,
Yeah.
and be on their way and do whatever it is, even if they just say 3, 5, 6. Some
Mm,
kids, like sometimes my son just have random things to say. He doesn't
mm,
have anything contributing to the conversation, but make him part of it anyway.
yeah.
Because what he's likely to say is, oh, what is this dinosaur? How about that movie? How about that
Yeah.
dinosaur? It did this and that. It has absolutely nothing to do
What
with
you
the
talking about?
discussion.
Yeah.
But let him do it.
Yeah.
Let him be
Exactly.
a part of that
Exactly.
conversation without
Exactly.
feeling awkward,
Yeah.
Yeah.
without feeling rejected, without
Hmm.
being asked, why do you say that? Why
Hmm.
always want to talk about dinosaurs?
Mm.
Mhm.
Let
Exactly.
him be able to be in the society where he is not judged
And
Thank you.
himself, be
Be
himself.
and
himself.
be
That's it.
himself.
Mhm.
That is just, I would
I have to
pay
leave you guys soon.
$1 million
I have to
to
go back.
see, huh?
I will have to leave you guys in the next few minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna stop now. We're gonna
It's 3 o'clock now.
wrap it up now because I know it's 9 o'clock.
I have to go
Go
Yeah,
down.
ahead. Sorry, Dolly.
so
Just round up
Bye,
your.
Dolly.
yeah, so I was just saying I would pay $1 million to just see him being himself. and being able to be a child
Yeah.
without
I
boundaries.
100% agree.
And
I
that
can see
is
that.
something that is good for all of them. Let
Mm-hmm.
them be themselves. Don't try to
Mhm.
get them from away from their wall. Go into their wall
Exactly.
sometimes. Little
Yeah.
sticks off.
Yeah. So I would agree. And I think I think from that we can conclude that acceptance isn't about our child fitting into the neurotypical society or what society feels that they should fit into. Acceptance is that they can be their true selves.
Themselves.
They don't have to hide who they are. And they're valued. I can see there's questions, and not that I'm ignoring you. It is time. It's 9 o'clock. And I'm conscious. I know everyone has different things to do. 9 o'clock here, I should say, in the UK, and it's probably like 3 o'clock for you.
Three or three right
Yes.
now.
School pickup
And I
time.
know you're going to pick up
Yeah.
school run time. So we will definitely be able to. I'll ask the ladies to answer those questions. If you're not in our WhatsApp group, come in our WhatsApp group, and then I can answer some of those for you. But thank you so much. Thank you to Jildare and to Dolly for giving up their time today. And it's been really enjoyable for me. I can see there's lots of chat in the chat box there. I'm sure everybody found it as engaging. Please do give them a virtual round of applause. Thank you. And I know that we will continue to advocate for our children. We will continue to blow the trumpet for autism acceptance and awareness. And I love you, ladies. Mwah. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
all.
having us.
You're
Bye
welcome.
bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye.
all. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.